As far as buying recovery kit is concerned, they're a cheap piece of kit. They're about less than $200, and the advantage of them is that you've got 1.5 meters of lift. Most bottle jacks and the scissor jacks that you get with the vehicles, particularly if it's bogged, won't even lift the wheel off the ground. So the way it works is there's a pair of pins that work their way up through this ladder, through the holes there, and you use the lever to actually make it work. One of the things that you need to be aware of with these is if these get stuck, it won't work. So if you get sand, mud or anything like that on it, give it a wash so that the pins will move freely. So the other thing is it's got quite a small base. If you're working in soft material, you need to get a log or a big rock or something like that to put under it so that you don't jack the jack down rather than the vehicle up. The other thing that you need is a solid point to jack from on a vehicle. This is ideal to slot in here. With a lot of modern four-wheel drives with the rounded body panels, makes it quite difficult. There is a way of overcoming that to a certain extent, but you may end up doing a little bit of cosmetic damage to it. I'll show you how to sort that out in a minute. The way it works is this. When there's no load on it, it's out of gear automatically. When you want to put it in gear, bring it up to the point that you're going to start jacking from, push it in, put it on a little bit of an angle, and put it into gear. There's this little lever here. Push that up, and then start jacking.
He's got enough base support, it doesn't need a block or anything?
As it is here now, it's all right. If it was in soft material, it would definitely need something to spread the load on the bottom. Otherwise, the jack would simply disappear into the earth. Right. Okay, so you can see how the two pins are working their way up the rail. And what you can do is, once you've got the wheels off the deck, if they're in a hole, pack stuff underneath them. Or in extreme circumstances, you can lift it up and push the whole vehicle to one side off the jack and push it out of the rut. They say you shouldn't use these for changing wheels because they're quite unstable, but I have seen it done, and it actually increases the speed of being able to change from your roadies to your muddies considerably. But you need to make sure that you've got some kind of protection underneath the spare wheel or something, so that if it does jump off the jack, it's not going to fall on whoever's working on it.
Just stay away from this vehicle, kids.
Okay, so when you want to release it, push this lever down, holding onto this handle. Now it's really important that you hold onto the handle because there's a lot of pressure on this, and if you don't, if there's somebody in the way, you'll take their head off. Okay? But it just works it back down.
Alright.
Okay, so if you buy one, make sure that these don't come undone, because once you lose the nuts, it's not going to work for you. Now, if you've got a vehicle with rounded body panels, what you can do is make a stirrup from this little super here. It's called a snig chain. Quite a useful piece of kit to carry as well. It's called a snig chain because it's got a hook on it that you can loop onto the chain and that will hold. You can make a stirrup out of that. So what I'm going to do, got a recovery hook under here, full of mud. Get the mud out. Make yourself a stirrup. Set the jack up. It's a good idea to put something between the jack and the vehicle to try and prevent a little bit of damage. And away you go. Now if you've got wheels that have got significant holes in them, you can actually use them as a jacking point. Put the chain through the wheel, create a stirrup from it, and then jack from that point. Okay, so a useful piece of kit, doesn't cost a lot, doesn't require a huge amount of maintenance, and 9 times out of 10 it'll get you out of trouble.